Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dr. Iyabo's Tea Time, or rather, Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo, January 24th. Welcome, 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 everyone. I'm glad you're all here. Tony, hi, how are you? I haven't seen you on my live for a while. Hi. Sorry, I was 4 minutes late. I was trying to get my, Lois, sorry, I was trying to get my tea and everything together. I'm like, oh, I'm late. Sorry about that, but welcome everyone. I'm really looking forward to this live today because it's with one of my coaching clients who's also about to launch her own business. And Lois is she is a sweetheart. She is a lawyer in Nigeria, but she also just has a heart for serving other women. And this is what I'm really trying to achieve with many women, to be able to just live out their dreams, live in their purpose, and touch the lives of other women. So we're in for a treat today. So if you guys know how to send this live to your friends, please go ahead and send it to them. There's an arrow in the bottom right corner. You should just send it to your friends and tell them to join, because I know that the replay will be on my YouTube. But honestly, the energy in joining a live is so much better than watching the replay. But, the replay will be on my YouTube. So, Lois, please request to come on my live. Hello, everybody. Hello, Dr. Jumoke, Tony, who else said hello? Hello, everyone. Activator Coaching Academy. Hi. My sis from Nigeria. Forget your name, Activator Coaching Academy. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. So, Lois, can you please request to be in my live? Are you the one that is OTIVBO? Because I don't see your name, so I want to... Lois, please request to join my live. I hope you know how to do it. Yeah, welcome everyone. I'm going to bring Lois on. Loretta, yes. Loretta, thank you so much. I'm sorry. I know all your brand names. It's like FW Style. Every time she comes on, I call her FW Style rather than calling her Alexandria. Okay, Lois is on. I'm going to bring her on. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're all here. We're talking about a really important... Hi, Lois.
Hi, Dr. Iyabo. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I think you have to raise... I just raised mine also. We want to see more of your beautiful face and your beautiful body. So you have to... You have to adjust. You have to adjust.
Let me see what I can do about that.
Yeah, we will wait patiently. So everyone, welcome. We're discussing a very important topic today, confidence, okay? I have not always been this courageous and confident to come on and talk to people like this. I have not always been like this. So, but you have to step out in order to gain more confidence. If you hide at home, you are not going to be able to get that confidence that you need, right? So confidence comes from doing. It comes from action. It comes from stepping out and doing. Because if you don't do, you're going to forever feel timid. And for me, honestly, I'm an introvert. People who see me, yes, this is much better. So yes, people who see me don't know that I'm an introvert, but I'm actually an introvert. If you invite me to a party now, I'm probably just going to hide in a corner and be too shy to say hi to anybody. But I'm a passionate introvert. The thing is, once I'm doing what I want to do to help people, I just light up. So I'm a passionate introvert, but I'm not the life of the party. If I walk into a party, I'm going to hide in one corner. Or I'll find one person that I know and I'll just talk to them and not want to talk to anybody else. But that's different from being passionate. So Lois, tell us when you're settled so that we can dive in. Everyone is waiting for... Okay, so everyone...
You just said something I just want to note. You just talked about being a passionate introvert, which is really nice.
Yeah, I know, because that's what I am. People call themselves extroverted introverts. I don't even know that I can use that word extroverts for myself, because people who know me from when I was, I'm by no means an extrovert at all. I'm an introvert and I actually love my quiet. I love being around people, but I also love being alone. but I'm very passionate. If there's something I need to do, I will not stop until I get the results. So that's me. But today is about you, Lois. Today is about you. Everybody welcome Lois Soni. She's going to introduce herself, and then I'm going to ask her a few questions. So Lois, please tell everyone about yourself.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Iyabo. I'm really happy to be here, and I have my cup of tea. I hope everyone does too. Hi, guys. My name is Lois. Oh, perfect. I like that. My name is Lois. Lois Soni. I live in Nigeria. I'm a lawyer, a writer, a speaker, and a confidence coach. I have 2 kids, lovely kids, 2 daughters, and I live in Lagos with my husband.
Okay, so tell us what kind of law you practice.
Right. Okay, so I'm an in-house legal counsel. So essentially, I don't go to the courts. I work within an organization and help them with management of their legal risk, compliance with regulations, and just ensuring that the organization stays safe on the right side of the law. So I work in-house.
Okay. So
and what's great is, I was going to say, what's great about working in-house for me is I spent, you get to see a lot of angles. So you cover a lot of aspects of the law, a lot of areas, because each business unit, each business team may need that support. So it's really great.
Okay. So now you were the second person who signed up for my coaching. Curvy girl coach Simone was the first. I'm sorry, but my daughter's dog is barking. I'll have to do something about that soon. But yes, you were the second person that signed up. I know, I love them too, but not when she's barking and like disturbing me. So yes, so you were the second person who signed up for my coaching. But then you were already a successful lawyer, because on our first coaching call, I asked you questions. It seemed like you were already financially stable. You were already doing really well. So then why did you need coaching? Why did you need my coaching? Because you seemed like everything was fine. It seemed like you were happy with your kids and your husband. Financially, you were fine. What was missing? Why did you need coaching?
That's a great question. And I think it's a question that everyone really needs to ask themselves sometimes, because by all standards, I was doing great. I was doing great by any measurement, but I wasn't really using my strengths. I wasn't really using my talents outside of the workplace. And it's important to be as fulfilled in your personal life as you are in your career. If you're only fulfilled in your career, there comes a time when you need to be able to, retirement's going to come, right? What's going to happen then? One of the scariest things that has ever happened to me, I'm not sure I've told you this before, was I was at the going away, the final ceremony for like the CEO of an organization. He'd reached the top. So he was 60 and he was retiring. And he's, when he said thank you to everyone for coming, he said, but he keeps asking himself, what now? What's going to happen? And it was like, this guy, he's reached the top, he's done everything, but he's not fulfilled because he was totally here. He didn't do anything outside here. And that was what he was essentially saying. He doesn't know how he's going to live life now. And I think
Lois, I'm going to have you hold on for 1 minute. I have to put the dog outside with my husband. 1 second. I'm so sorry, guys, but this is life. Things happen. I can't focus because of the barking.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Iyabo. Thank you, Folake, Namdi, Mani Hard. I see your comments. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you, that Crochet Live. Yes, thank you, thank you. I'm happy to be here and share with all of you guys. Oh, I think maybe the dog wanted to hear a little bit about confidence.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm back. Okay, yes, Lois, go on. I did hear most of what you said, but it was just too distracting. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just saying that that's the example of someone who's, it's possible to live life very fulfilled in your field of work but you still have so much inside you that you haven't brought out, and then you feel unfulfilled. And frankly, that's actually the most important part. So that was why I signed up for your coaching. For a long time, I'd had this niggling. I'd also had an experience, which I always find a very interesting experience. I shared it with a group I spoke with today. I was in a plane, so I was away on a business trip. We're having a trip from Italy, London, Nigeria. It was supposed to be the same day, and before we got to Italy, the pilot says, sorry, just before we got to London Heathrow, the pilot says, guys, there's a storm, I can't land, we need another 25 minutes in the air. But that's not the big problem. The big problem is that, thank you, Howie, the big problem is that I don't have enough fuel until the time they're giving us to land. So you can imagine the panic on the plane, right? We're 35,000 feet in the air. He says he doesn't have enough fuel until landing time, and he's trying to figure that out. And in my mind, I remembered the saying, the graveyard is the richest place on earth, because there's potential that dies with a lot of people who don't use their gifts. And
Lois, you're going in and out. Can you guys hear me? Because it seems like Lois, the connection with Lois. Can you guys hear both of us? Lois, I can't hear you. There's a circle going around. I can't hear you. I think we lost Lois. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, so can you guys come back? I'm going to log off and come right back. Okay, sorry about that. Hi everyone, sorry. Hi. Sorry about that. I hope everyone's back. Lois, I think the connection was not good. So sorry, guys. Sorry. First it was the dog barking, and then now it's technology. But let's just take a deep breath. We're going to make it work, okay? We're going to make it work. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. Please send the live to your friends. Ask everybody to join in. Please do that. Lois, hi. I think the connection is funny, right?
Yes, it went out. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I hope you heard the story I told, and I was about to say that I just made up my mind that I wasn't going to allow my potential to die in the graveyard. So I thought it would be a good idea to talk with a coach, because what a coach does for you, and I'd like to answer this because I get this question a lot. The difference between a coach and a counselor: the coach helps you go forward, look forward. How do we build from where you are now to the future?
Yes. And a counselor helps you deal with your past. I've had people ask me that as well. I have. So, and I think you should adjust your height again, because we want to see your face well. So I just wanted to use that example for you ladies sometimes who do message me, that you need coaching, you want coaching. And honestly, no matter how much you've achieved in your career, no matter how much money you're making, no matter how happy you are in your marriage and everything, sometimes there's still that void where you feel like, am I living in my purpose or not? So I wanted to point that out to people. Now, Lois, on our first call, I could tell, because again, the way my style of coaching is, I try to ask people and question people so I can figure out what their creative gifts and talents and passions are. But from our very first call, I could tell that you were very passionate about helping women gain confidence. And you did tell me a couple stories about why. So, and now you're about to launch your own confidence coaching business. So why are you so passionate about helping women with confidence? Why is that something that it was so easy for me to extract from even our very first call?
Okay. So what has happened to me, my experiences have really led me on this path, right? Initially I had issues with body confidence. I tell people at every stage in my life, I have felt like I needed to lose weight. Even when I was 120 pounds, when I was in university, every stage in my life, I have always been trying to lose weight. You know, and over time, I had to come to grips with myself and free myself from that mindset, because it can hold you back, you know. And I will just quickly jump to in my career as well. So I had experiences, you know, early in my career where I was in a kind of a semi-different field, and I was kind of rated average. But I knew, I mean, coming from where I was coming from, my smarts, which I knew about, and I'm not bragging, you know, but
It's
what I
fine to
had
brag.
done,
It's fine. It's fine to brag. Yes,
I
brag.
knew that I was more than the labels that I was being given. But I also knew that I got to the point where I knew I couldn't let those labels continue to hold me down, because I was going to get depressed. I was going to get down. So I started focusing on outside. I started looking at other things, and I started defining myself for who I was. Now, what I found when I was able to define myself for who I was amazing in every regard. That saying, when they say, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will, is so true. Because the minute I freed myself from all those things, everything, those labels dropped. The should I call them, those who have the perception or those who have the ranking rights within the organization, the rankings changed, the ratings changed, and I wasn't chasing ratings. I wasn't
Yes.
chasing them at all. It was just that I had freed myself from the shackles of those labels, and I was moving forward. And it's something I'd really like everyone to experience. I can't explain it honestly until you experience it, because the truth is a lot of women are in that position.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I am an empath. I know some people
You
think
and
it's a
I am
buzzword.
too.
Yeah, it is real. I
Yeah.
can't explain how real it is when you
Yes.
feel other people's
Yeah.
pains.
Yeah.
And I
I'm
feel
the
it.
same way. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd understand when you feel it in other women, and you see what women are struggling with. Another story that I tell, and these are real stories, is of a lady who, I was trying to employ a nanny for my house, and I typically have a rule. My nanny has to have at least a high school diploma, right? Because she's going to stay with my kids when I'm on trips. She's going to, you know, stay with them at home, coming when I'm at work or at meetings and things like that. And I need her to be able to interact with them. I also need her to be able to take control if, you know, anything happens. Do you know, this lady comes to me, and she doesn't have that. But I'm talking to her, and I asked her just in the course of the interview, because I had promised someone I'd interview her. So I asked her, okay, so what do you think you should earn? And she wouldn't talk.
Mm.
I spent almost 20 minutes trying to persuade her to tell me what she thought she would earn. By this time, I was genuinely curious. Why won't you talk? And she said, you
Yeah.
might be angry with me. And I said, there's nothing to be angry about. How much do you think you should earn? And she told me 20,000 naira. Now that's about $50. She was coming to work, and she didn't think that for a
$50
month,
per what? Per week
a
or per month?
month, a
Oh my
month.
goodness. Oh
And
my
not only did
goodness.
she not think she should earn $50 a month, she was scared to have the effrontery to even try to value herself.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, yes.
it stopped me in my tracks, and it
Yes, it's
really hit
heartbreaking.
me. Yeah, because that's a woman in the informal sector, but think of the women in the formal sector who are also suffering the same thing. So those are some of the influences and things that really led me to down this path.
Yes. So that's why you're passionate about confidence in women, to help
Exactly.
women
That's
with
why I'm passionate about
confidence.
confidence and women. Yes.
Yes. And you
Yeah.
said a few things that I hope, for me, I pick out the key from everything that people say. So women, you heard Lois talking about she was looking to hire a nanny. This is part of what I preach a lot. I know a lot of you will say, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money. That's probably a conversation for another day, or maybe we'll get into it today. I don't know. But I've heard I don't have money many times, and I just don't buy into it as I used to, because in my years as a pediatrician, I've heard people curse me out, curse my staff out, yell at them because they have a bill of $100 or they don't want to pay their copay of $50. And then we peek out the window and we see that they came to the office in a Range Rover, or they came to the office in a Mercedes Benz, or you look at their kids and they all have $250 sneakers on. So, you know, and I know that there are some people that genuinely don't have, but I find it hard to believe most women who say they don't have, because people prioritize their money on other things rather than their personal development. So that's why I don't feel sorry for most women. Again, I know that may sound harsh, but I do help. I'm a philanthropist, but I'm careful about doing that. But you heard Lois talk about having a nanny. It's very, very important that we delegate and we hire people to help us so that we can focus our own time on the things that we're really, really good at, right? So we can become really good. So Lois, like we're saying, is already a very successful lawyer in Nigeria, but it wasn't enough for her. She wanted to use her skills to help women. We're talking about confidence. So Lois, how confident are you? This is a question I'm going to put you on the spot. On a scale of 1 to 10, you guys know me, and if you're my coaching client, you're on this call, you're probably like, oh gosh, Dr. Iyabo has started with her 1 to 10 questions. So be honest with us. When you first joined my coaching, and it doesn't matter if it hasn't changed, honestly, when you first joined my coaching, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident were you? Today, as we're talking, how confident are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay, so when I first joined, I was probably between 6.5 and 7.
Okay.
When I first joined the coaching. And and this is very important, as I have done more of the things that I meant to do, I have learned more, and I can tell you that I'm at a 10. And I think it's important to also recognize that that doesn't mean that I can do anything in the whole wide world.
No,
that's not
neither
what
can
means.
I. Yeah,
exactly. But it means that I know that I can try, and I'm willing to put myself out and try. It means that those fears, the doubts, because they will come, it's normal, they won't stop me. They're not going to be what stops me. And if I have a hiccup in the road, I will pause, reflect, pick myself up, and, try again, move on again. That's what it means. But I'm fully there now. Why was I at a 6.5 or 7 when I first joined? Because I wasn't moving. So when you're not moving, you're just stuck in one spot. It's going to be difficult. So
action.
Yes.
Action is what leads to self-confidence. Action is what leads to, you can prepare from now until eternity, but if you don't step out to act, to execute, to implement, you are never going to be able to do it. If I was shy in my public speaking and I hid myself in my closet and I said, I can't do it, I don't want people to make fun of me, I won't be as comfortable with public speaking today as I am, right? You were not that comfortable with public speaking when you first joined me. But the first video you sent me, I'm like, you scored an 8 to 10, 9 out of 10. You actually didn't even know your own gifts, right? Tell people about that, about the public speaking. You were already good with public speaking, but just because you didn't act to put it out there, you didn't even know how good you were. So tell people about that.
So I have always, whenever I speak before I started, I would speak maybe at small occasions or at occasions I was comfortable in, where there are no strangers, or, maybe as a favor to someone, at occasions which were safe for me, and I would prepare, like you said. But when Dr. Iyabo says you need to start talking and doing videos, and I thought of that thing, a lot of the time women were raised, hide, quiet, be quiet.
Yes.
It's nice to be quiet. But she says you need to speak. You need to speak. You need to speak. And so I did it, and I enjoyed it. I've always known that I'd enjoy it. I write great speeches for others. Incidentally, I write great speeches for my boss, but making the speeches, actually doing the talking, I found that I enjoy it. I found that it enables me to actually share from the heart. And I prefer,
Yes.
I now prefer sharing from the heart to my written, to my written code, because you can now gauge the audience. You can focus more on the audience than focus on you, what you had down. And that,
Yes.
again, I think working outside yourself too, that's also something that helps with confidence.
Yes, wonderful. Yes. So I'm glad that you guys can see the difference with just taking action, with just getting a coach to help you. And I'm really so happy today because Lois is going to tell us all about her coaching that she's about to launch, specifically her confidence coaching. She's a life coach, but she's specifically passionate about helping women become more confident. And I'm telling you, just so you know, I'm not sure that you can be successful in any business, and I don't like using absolute statements, but it's going to be very hard for you to be successful in any kind of business, even in love relationships. This is why a lot of women struggle with dating, struggle in their marriages, because they lack confidence of their own. And if you lack confidence, you'll be a boundaryless person. That's what goes on with women in dating and relationships and marriages. You know, we've been taught to just, oh, is the husband, is this, oh, just keep quiet, oh, just endure, oh. That is, people are teaching us how to have low self-confidence. And if you have low self-confidence, you become a boundaryless person. I don't know if that's correct English, but it sounds like it suits what I'm saying. So Lois is going to be a confidence coach very soon. So I want you ladies on here. And again, most of my clients are between 25 to about 48, I think. I think my oldest client is 48, 25 to 48. So I'm sure there's many of you in that age group who specifically need confidence coaching. And that's what Lois is going to tell you about today. And obviously, Lois's prices are lower than mine. So that would be a great place to start. Yes. And Lois will help you with everything you have to do. But before we get there, Lois, why are some reasons that women lack confidence? Because I see that it's a recurring factor. And I want to say one thing out. The worst scenario is the scenario where women have low confidence and they don't even know they have low confidence. That is the one that bothers me, because I have kind of seen that with women who message me and send me messages. They have low self-esteem, they have low self-confidence, and they're not even aware that that's what's pushing them down, or pulling them away from success and freedom. So you tell us, the floor is yours. What are some reasons why women have low self-confidence, and why do some have it and don't even know they have it? I think we're losing Lois again. I hope she doesn't go off. That's Niger internet acting up. Lois, by God's grace, you're going to call, that circle is going to stop. I hope your internet starts to act well. That's a problem with the internet. In Alexandria, hi, how are you? Can you guys hear me? I think it's Lois's internet. Oh no, she's gone again. Okay. So it seems like we're going to have this live in bits and pieces. So I'm just, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just combine, hi Alexandria, I'm going to combine all of them together on iMovie and just put them all together, because I think the internet is really acting up in Lagos where she is. So sorry, but I'm going to, I don't know, maybe she should try and join again. Maybe. Let's see if she'll join me. Actually, I'm going to wait and see if she can just rejoin this live. Oh, thanks, Alexandria. Thank you. Let me see if she'll rejoin this live. So welcome, everybody. We're discussing something really important. Confidence. So confidence, but the internet in Lagos where Lois seems to be acting up, you guys should pray. By God's grace, the internet will cooperate. But we're discussing confidence. Lois was the second person that signed up for my coaching in October. And as soon as we started to talk, I could tell that she was passionate about helping women develop confidence. And I'm like, this is probably something you need to work on, because you have so many stories and you're so passionate about helping women with confidence. So she's about to launch her coaching, and she was telling us that when she first signed up with me, her confidence level was about 6 to 7 out of 10, but now it's a 10. I thought that was Lois, but now she's at a 10. So I just wanted her to tell us her story, and then I asked her a question about what are some reasons why women have low confidence. And I also asked her that the funny thing, which is sometimes the sad thing, is some women have low self-confidence, they have low self-esteem, but they don't even know that they have low self-esteem. And that is even a worse situation than knowing you have low confidence and you're looking for help, right? Some women have really, really low confidence because of, situations in life, not of their own doing, but it's just the conditioning that women have been through, maybe bad marriages, maybe divorce, maybe bad experiences has really made them lose, their self-worth and their self-awareness, and they have low confidence. And low confidence is what keeps a lot of women, yes, it's me in she. Yeah. So I'm waiting for. Lois, that's you. Okay. I wasn't sure. Okay. So yeah, I wasn't sure if that was you. So Lois is coming back on, but she's coming back on as someone else. So I'm going to bring Lois on. Lois, hi. It's okay. It's okay. We'll make it work.
Thank you.
We'll make, yes. So you can start answering a question that what is it that makes women have low confidence?
Okay, so there are a myriad of reasons, but some of the major reasons, maybe we start with conditioning, and that has to do with the environment in which you may have been raised, for instance. So let's say you had a toxic family environment doesn't help, or when you have parents who may not recognize the import of some of the things they say. And I say that I have an example. I had a friend, actually. She had a 6-year-old daughter. And one day I was at her house and I realized that every mistake the 6-year-old girl said, she'd go, oops, clumsy me, oops, clumsy me. I mean, this 6-year-old said she was clumsy in a matter of a few minutes, several times. And turns out her mom says similar things to her, you're clumsy, but she doesn't realize that as that girl grows up, she's going to internalize the fact that she's clumsy and carry that label and how it affects her. So things like that. So conditioning is very important where you're raised. You may not also have had parents who supported you and encouraged you to look at the positives, focus on the positive, focus on the good, focus on your strengths. And it's not necessarily intentional. So it's not like it's their fault. It may just have been they didn't realize that can have an effect.
Yeah.
Another thing too is past experiences. Sometimes when past experiences can be so painful, and we internalize them in a way that just makes it very difficult for us to then grow out of them. And sometimes you need help to do that. The guilt is a very interesting one. If you are living a life that is not fully aligned with your values, confidence will be difficult. With your core values, with your spiritual and moral values, confidence will be difficult. And no one's judging you necessarily, but internally, you kind of know that you're not on the path you should be, and that just affects everything. And I think another one is when you don't know yourself. So you haven't taken the time to recognize or appreciate your strengths. So earlier on, I mentioned that I'm an empath, and I never saw empathy as a strength. I mean, what good is it to anyone else but me that I feel how people feel? It was kind of how I felt initially, right? But when I learned to embrace it and I learned to understand it and understand how it plays in my life more, I realized that in the workplace, it's a fantastic strength to have. Yeah. It puts me square in the position of maybe mediator, if you like. I can balance two opposing sides. And I began to realize that, there are ways to use these strengths that you have, but you've got to know them. So if you don't know yourself, you don't know your strengths, it's almost like being rudderless. You know, you talked about being boundaryless earlier. It's like being rudderless, because when you have that anchor, it really helps you to define and then build around that. So those are, you know, some of the reasons.
And everybody was responding and saying such great info. That's true, that's true, that's true. But Lois, how do women learn how to know themselves? I know we say that statement a lot. I say it, I know, and I know what you mean. I know what I mean. But how do you get to know yourself if you don't know yourself? You know?
Okay. So you can do this in several ways.
Okay.
One, hire a coach. A coach can help you draw it out. Okay. But I also like to encourage people. Exactly. I like to encourage people to sit with themselves a lot of the time. And sitting with yourself entails you need to be honest, you need to be vulnerable. Yeah. Ultimately, no one knows you better than yourself. So yeah. The fear of being vulnerable, you're being vulnerable to yourself. So sit with yourself. Who am I? What are the things I do well? What are the things, how do these occasions make me feel? Do you spend, I saw someone just right, she's lost since having children. Make time for yourself. Even if you make time to journal. Journaling, I encourage it a lot. Do you want to do it daily? Some people may not have time to do it daily. You can do it weekly. Commit to making a little time. In my workplace, let me talk about committing time for yourself. And it's possible, no matter how busy we are. I was very busy. In my team, we're a small team of 2. We serve almost 12 departments, and it's a large organization, over 2,000 employees, and we're serving 12 teams, and we're only 2 serving 12 teams. So you can imagine the work schedule, and I was all over the place. I'm in 20-something meetings a week other than work, like focused work. So I learned the principle of deep work. I block 2 hours of my day, which I determine what happens in those 2 hours. It was a game changer. It gave me so much control. I may take meetings during those times, but it was, you know, time in my control. What am I saying with that? Block time for yourself no matter what. 30 minutes, 1 hour every day. Block time for yourself. You've got to sit with yourself to know yourself. You could hire a coach. Another thing you could do is you could also talk to friends and family, like do a survey. How do I react when these things happen? What do you think I could do better? What do you think I'm good at? Also check your reactions when things happen, and what do they mean? If someone tells you haven't done something well, are you defensive? You know, there's so many things, but it's going to take you asking questions. You're going to sit with yourself, be honest with yourself, and you're going to talk to other people as well, because you want to take input from your external interactions.
Wow. I was writing down so many things. That is so true. It's because not knowing yourself means that you need somebody on the outside to help you figure out yourself. So if you don't, not everybody is as gifted as you and I. You know, I'm not saying that I know everything. I do know, and I know some of my negative factors. I'm open, I'm vulnerable with it now. Ever since I was young, people have told me I'm stubborn. My mom especially would say, Iyabo, you're so headstrong, you're so stubborn, saying it in Yoruba. But I knew that was a negative trait, but now I kind of channel that into positivity. My stubbornness, I put it into my goals. You know, I put in my stubbornness as in, you know, okay, I'm stubborn, but that means I can also be persistent, but I should be open to listening to other people. So Lois is so right. Ask people, trusted people around you. Be careful. If you have somebody, if you have somebody who's already envious of you, or you have a husband who already puts you down, or a mother-in-law who already puts you down, don't go to those people who are going to capitalize on it and give you more negative words to put you down. So choose those people carefully. And if you don't have any family or friends around you, hire a coach. But that's really important. The time, honestly, the time, blocking out time. I feel like, Lois, you need to talk for another 3 minutes about blocking out time. because this is a problem with women. I get those messages all the time. Women ask me, but how do you say you sleep for 8 hours, and how do you still have time to work out, and how do you do all those things you do? And I'm thinking to myself, why do women think I do so much? Maybe it's because I actually, honestly, now I feel like my work day, I only work for like 2 or 3 hours a day now, to be honest. I have so much free time because I worked when I was meant to work in my 30s. I don't look at coaching as working. I love coaching. And when I'm about to take a coaching call, my family knows I'm like dancing. I'm putting myself in high spirits. I'm just happy that I'm about to pour into a woman's life. So, you know, you guys think, how do I have enough time? I actually have a lot of time. So, Lois, can you explain that to women? Because I think they've heard me say it so much, it's not having effects. So when you talked about blocking out time, can you say it again, that 24 hours is actually a long time to get things done? So please, because they can't be confident unless they have time.
Okay. Time is of the essence in many ways. It's not just running, it's for you to use, right? And it's key to your balance. It's key to your confidence. Now, what you just said, Dr. Iyabo, very interesting, was the subject of one of our management meetings. You know, how are women coping, you know, especially women whose husbands are working maybe away during the pandemic and they're trying to do everything at home and all that. And honestly, in my mind, I was like, I didn't want to put anyone down, but in my mind, I was like, you know, if I was in that situation, I'm not cooking for you 3 times a day. I'm not cooking for anyone 3 times a day. I'm not then cleaning the house and then working and all frazzled and not able to find time. You've got to set systems and structures in place. Something Dr. Iyabo referred to earlier was delegation, okay? And if you don't have the ability to delegate, or you don't have anyone to delegate to at that time, that's okay. You can cook weekends. You can, you know, food prep, make it easier for yourself. Are there things that the kids can put together for breakfast? For me, it's easy breakfast because I don't have any help in my house right now. It's easy breakfast. Lunch, I try to, you know, have food already packed, already cooked for a while, maybe a week, 2 weeks ahead. So you bring it out, you warm, you guys go to eat, I'm at work. Making sure that we have a time. My kids go to bed early. Bedtime is 7 o'clock.
Please, Lois, can I stop you for 1 second? Can I stop you there for 1 second? Please. My kids are older, right? My 2 daughters are older. My stepsons go to bed at 7 o'clock. They play with some kids in our neighborhood. And every time we bring them in for dinner at 5:30 or 6, some of the mothers are like, that's so early. And my husband's like, what? So say that again to women. Some women let their young kids go to bed at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It's like, what's going on? You know, so
what's going to happen is the kids will be tired, the parents will be tired.
So please repeat that, because kids have to go to bed at 7 o'clock. Please, if they're below the age of, I can't even think right now, below the age of, I think 10 or 11, they have to go to bed at 7.
Yeah, yes. So structure, it's putting those structures in place. My kids go to bed at 7. Does that mean they fall asleep at 7? No. But anyone who walks out, and kids will be kids, right? I've had kids come to tell me, oh, I need to drink water. Oh, my leg is hurting me. But that's not stopping you from sleeping. I've had my daughter come out and tell me, I'm hungry, mom, at 10. But you had dinner, sweetheart. If you were sleeping, you would not be hungry. Do you know that? But the key is, you stay in your room. If you want to read a book until you fall asleep, read a book until you fall asleep. So you need to use that to be able to structure yourself, and then you can begin to free up time. Now, what that does for me is, yes, I can spend time with my honey. You're absolutely right. And I can also allocate at least 1 hour at night for myself. So that 1 hour is my time. What do I want to do with it? Journal? Try out a course, something, but that 1 hour is my downtime. So I get that every day.
Okay, you see why I love my coaching clients. Honestly, this is why I love my coaching clients. Dr. Jumoke had to put in that honey time. Dr. Jumoke.
Yes, I saw that.
Dr. Jumoke, there's something else that is on Dr. Jumoke's mind all through this confidence. Dr. Jumoke, maybe you should also be an SCX coach. There's nobody that I've coached so far that has said they want to be an SEX coach. I think, Dr. Jumoke, maybe you should add into that business coaching, that women, this is how to get your groove back on. This is how to get your SEX back on. Okay, let me stop joking now. Okay, but honestly, the time factor, you have to manage your time. You don't have to work 8 hours. What I'm trying to groom women into being able to work 4-day work weeks and be as efficient as ever, because that's what I do now. I can work for 2 hours a day and be as efficient as possible. If I don't go into my office, into Milestone, I check my billing, I have a 15-minute meeting, you know, I do all of that. I work out, I still have time with my honey at home, and I only work like 3-4 hours, and I'm super, super effective. Honestly, I'm telling you, most millionaires and billionaires in the world don't work 8-hour days. They do not. They work shorter hours, but they're super effective because they're managers, they're overseeing what they should be seeing. That is my goal for you. And if you want to get there, then you can, you know, we can talk later, or you can hire Lois, of course, as your confidence coach. Now, my next question is, this problem with low confidence and low self-esteem and all of that, do you think it's a phenomenon that occurs equally in all cultures of the world? Do you feel like in America, there's women with low confidence, in Europe they are, or do you think it's more of us that were born into third world countries that suffer more from low self-confidence? I'm just curious about that.
It's not a Nigeria problem, or sorry, a third world problem. It's a worldwide challenge. And so I did my master's thesis on this kind of, actually. And what I did find in my research, which I mean was fairly obvious, but if you look at literally all cultures had women at some point, I mean, guys, women were not able to vote at some point. In a lot of places till date, women are paid less than men, you know, and women are, you know, these things, what these things say to women is that you are not the same. You are not of the same value. You're not of the same worth. So women have historically tried or had to struggle. It's almost like everything that's come to us from out there, we've had to struggle a bit harder to get it, right?
Yeah.
Why is this the case? It's culture, it's based in culture, and in some cases an interpretation, a lot of cases also an interpretation of religious, maybe tenets, okay? But that's where the world is today. Interestingly, KPMG did a study a couple of years ago, and about 75, if not more, % of top women executives suffer from imposter syndrome. About 75%. And this was in the US.
I believe it.
Yeah. This study was in the US, you know, top women in the US. And that's why you find there's actually a structure trying to bring women up in a lot of places today, a lot of organizations. I think countries like, is it Sweden, is it Switzerland? They actually have a policy on making sure you bring women up, you know, you get women to do things, and just trying to change that balance. It's a balance, it's not a war. And I think I tell people, a lot of people make the mistake that it's a women versus men thing. It's not a war. It's just getting that balance, you know. So it's all over the world.
It is.
How soon will it change? We've been on it for hundreds of years. We probably will still be on it for quite a while.
Well, that is why we need to groom each other. Like the school anthem in my school, Queen's College, that I went to, pass on the torch. I love when I listen to that now. I'm like, I didn't know the strength of that school song then. Now that I listen to it, pass on the torch. Like, I'm grooming you, I'm grooming all these other women. You will groom others. There's no need for us to be scared that, oh, you're grooming somebody else to be a coach, you won't get clients. Everybody has their own clients, but there's 8 billion people in the world, and we need more people to help women in all corners of those. So that's the only way we're going to change the status quo with women. Because again, you've heard it in some of my videos, some women will put on the mask of degree after degree after degree. Some women, you know, they already have a master's, they have a PhD, they're doctors, they're this and that, and they want more. And I'm thinking, all these degrees you have, tell me, how have they made you happy? How have they, you're still looking for a coach, you're still hiring me, because there's something missing, and you're still telling me you need these degrees. And I'm like, I think you need to take a deep breath. You don't need any more degrees. What you need now is actually to figure out your purpose. What you need now is actually to figure out why you're on this. These degrees are just to help you feel like you're worthy. So women use all sorts of things to help themselves feel worthy, but it doesn't change anything, you know. Or some women are single and they spend all the time acquiring degrees rather than stepping out with confidence to actually start acting and living out their purpose. But they feel that if they have all these certificates, it makes them more worthy, but it doesn't. Right? This is why some women in some parts of the world who have no education are super confident. So confidence actually has no, the confidence is not directly proportional to your career, what's it called, your achievements, your career. Your academic, that's the word I'm looking for. Confidence is not directly proportional to your academic accolades. It's not. Otherwise, all doctors, all lawyers would be confident. They're actually not.
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
Right. Confidence.
Indeed. That's correct.
Yeah. Confidence is proportional to you living in your purpose and you actually living out what you're on this earth for. It's a very complicated way of speaking it. Like, I'm more confident now with what I'm doing than what I was doing as a pediatrician in my 30s and 40s. Wow. You know, I'm way more confident now because I'm influencing lives. I'm confident because I know that my life actually has meaning. A lot of women don't understand the weight their lives have. They don't understand the meaning that their lives carry. They stay hiding at home and they're robbing. You're robbing and depriving other people of what God has given you to help them because you're hyper-focused on your life. My husband is this, he's doing that. I'm not trying to say forget about your husbands, but sometimes I feel like saying that to women because it's like too many women are hyper-focused on their boyfriends and husbands. For goodness sake, women, for goodness sake, your life purpose is not your husband. Okay, your life purpose is not. We need our husbands. I'm so happy I'm married, but I still have my own life purpose outside my husband. You know, we need to reset our minds and know that our husbands are not our life purpose. God does want men and women to join together to be happy, to support each other. But my husband has his mission in life. I have my mission in life. And yes, we can also have combined mission. But, you know, too many women, all my DMs that I get revolve around some problem with a man or no man or whatever. And it's heartbreaking. Did we lose Lois again? I don't know if we lost her again. Oh, you're there. So, yeah, I know I'm kind of going off tangents, but I want to remind every woman, if you don't get anything from what I've said, that your academic accolade is not directly proportional to your confidence. And your academic accolades are not directly proportional to your mission and your purpose in life. No, it's the minute you find out that there's souls in this world that need you in particular to help them, that is where you'll gain the confidence from, because you're going to pop out of bed and say, oh no, those women are waiting for me. Let me go, you know. So I hope that meant something to you. So, Lois, now I want you to talk about what I had asked you before, because you hadn't answered it yet. Why is it that some women don't know that they have low confidence and they actually do? There are many women who realize it, but I feel like there are many women who don't know that what's stopping them, what's blocking them is actually that they don't love themselves, they don't feel worthy, and they're not confident.
So I think that you've actually even touched on it in some of what you said, right? If you don't know yourself, if you don't think you're worthy, and you're trying to fill your life with a lot of things, okay, those are symptoms or signs of self-confidence. Their minds are still focused on this thing, you know, they're still focused on achieving that thing that will satisfy them or make them worthy. Unfortunately, you'll get to that point and realize that thing cannot make you worthy, because that worthiness, it's already inside you, right? even like the purpose, your purpose is already inside you. You need it to be activated, or you need to activate it. But your worthiness is inside you, and you need to recognize that. For me, you know, when I talked about, you know, having body confidence issues, I had to come to terms with myself. I'm never going to be, it wasn't a skin issue, but this is the body that God gave me. What I can do, what can I do with it? How can I get it into the best shape? If I need to lose weight at any point in time, yes, that you know, I can do that. If I how much better, or what other ways can I take care of it? Not a focus on I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat. I mean, even at my skinniest, even when my waist was 24, I thought I was fat. I mean, what else? You know? And for me, that was coming from a family where we're plus size generally. So you need to know that. You need to accept yourself. If you find that you're chasing things, I think, Dr. Iyabo, it's exactly like you said, you need to pause. You need to take a pause and just ask yourself, why? Why am I constantly looking for something higher, looking for something more? On the other hand, you also need to ask yourself, have you found your purpose? Well, not found, because it's inside you. Are you walking in your purpose? If you're not, you don't know yourself, you're not walking in your purpose, you're constantly chasing things, you think those things are going to satisfy you. They're not. It's time for a pause. We fill our lives with a lot of busyness. They're like cosmetic things.
I know.
You will have an achievement and you will feel good, and it will make you feel good for a moment, but then soon that lifts again and you're right back where you were. So there are ways that we fill our lives with things that give us temporary senses of, like a temporary sense of confidence or feel good about ourselves just at that point in time. But that's not what we're talking about when we talk about confidence. We're talking about the deep one, that even if the things are not happening the way you want to, you stay steady, you stay rooted, you know that you're going to work through. It's just a matter of time.
Very good. Now, let me ask you a question, Lois. Do you feel, I know you've talked about your weight, which a lot of us talk about a lot. I'm not immune to that. Even when I've gained 5 pounds, sometimes I get hyper focused on this 5 pounds. Like now I'm like, when is this 5 pounds going? We all go through that. But for me, I can, you know, mine is just 5 pounds. It's no big deal. But many women do, you know, I don't want to use the word suffer, it's too much. Many women do deal with that body confidence. It's because of society. Everybody wants to be a size 0 or size 2 or have the small tiny waist and big butt. Let's not, you know, I just pray for everybody who's looking for that body that God did not create us with, because God did not create us to have that tiny waist and they have a big large butt. It just looks unnatural. And I'm telling you, the men who are even wanting that kind of body are not serious men. The men that you're changing your body for and going to remove ribs for and adding butts for, they're not serious men. You know, they're not. So, you know, if you're a woman who's thinking about plastic surgery right now for some man, or to look like what are their names, the Kardashians. I don't have anything against the Kardashians, so nobody should mention me. I'm saying something negative about them. I don't have anything against them. But if you're thinking right now about some fake body, please, can you just message me? Even if you can't afford my coaching, just message me so I can just let you know quickly now that that kind of body is unreal. You want to live in fake land. So anyway, what I was coming to was a lot of women struggle with their bodies because of what society has put out there. I'm a proponent, you know, that I talk about healthy living, exercise, eating well, eating right, even being a little bit vain. I talk about vanity because I think if you're vain, you'll want to look good. I'm a vain person because I love to look good, but I do it the natural way. So there are women who will not step out. You don't want to know about women that have signed up for my coaching. There are at least 2 who signed up for my coaching, and because they're on their path to losing weight, they said they were going to take a break. They just didn't think they were ready to be active on social media yet, or active to start speaking, because you know me, I'm going to make you a speaker. If you come for my coaching, you have to speak, because that's the way you're going to be excellent with your brand. They actually said they wanted to take time off, and I told them, I said, even when you come back in 4 or 6 months, you're still not going to be happy with your weight. You know, so how do we talk to women about how you can be moving towards improvement of your life and still be excellent. There's a saying, I can't think of that saying now, how you can still be a work in progress but still be confident, right? Nobody's going to be perfect, and the Kardashians are not even perfect. They have their own issues too. With their small waist and their big butts, it doesn't mean they are the happiest in the world. So like you now, you've been open about your body that you talk about, but that hasn't stopped you stepping out and doing what you're doing. But there are many women who want to hide until they get this perfect body, which will never ever happen. Please talk to women about that.
Okay, so my recommendation, because it's a very deep point, and women with body confidence issues, it can stem from a lot of places, a very deep place.
Yes.
Is that you've got to shift your mind, and you've got to do it deliberately. Shift your mind from the place of you must reach a perfect destination. Perfection is such an oxymoron because it's a fallacy while it's also a journey. And it's probably a journey with no destination because you just keep working at it. You just keep going. Exactly what you said, no matter how beautiful your body is in that definition of beautiful body, let me say, is not your definition. It's not God's definition. It's society's definition. It's the media's definition.
Yeah.
Would you like that body and the other issues that come with it if you're looking at a particular person? Because people's lives, your life is holistic. It's a package, right? As you come, like you said, the Kardashians, if you look at some of the issues they have, would you rather that body and those issues?
I know.
I tell you, I would not.
No, never.
I love mine. So you've really got to work on your mind. And there are tools for that. You can use affirmations, you can use images. You need to teach yourself to appreciate the process and the journey you're on. Because your process, if it's right, you will get results if you stay consistent, but you have to build yourself up in that regard. A quick fix, you do plastic surgery, the confidence issues that led you there, will not go away.
No.
A quick fix, this is not something that is a quick fix. So you need to fix it from inside, all the way inside. And you need to also teach yourself to appreciate where you are and the journey you're on.
Yes, that is just so important. It's so important that you can be, and Alexandra said, she said, you can be a work in progress and a masterpiece at the same time. And that is yeah, exactly. That's the saying I was looking for. Not that we're saying that if you need to lose weight and your cholesterol is high, or you have high blood pressure, or your doctor said lose weight. I didn't say you don't, but you can be working on yourself while you're still doing things, while you're still living in your purpose, because that weight you're trying to lose and putting your coaching on, it's like, first of all, I don't even think that that's even a good way to even approach your own entrepreneurship or your purpose goal, right? Thinking that, that alone, those two women, I kind of told them that you probably should get a therapist, not in a bad way, but there's something in your past that you have to deal with, because I can only help you with your future as your coach. But if there's something that is stopping you so much from stepping out to actually live in your purpose because of your weight, then you need a therapist to look into that for you. Because again, us women, we've been said so many words by people, our husbands, our parents, people, and it just affects us subconsciously, and we don't know, right? So now, Lois, we're going to go into the part of what I want to talk about now is with young women who are still, before we start talking about your coaching, I want us to touch on young women who are like from 18 and above, 18 to like, I say young, but 18 to like 25, 26, who are still single. Even if they're not on this live, they may watch the replay. How do we show them or tell them how important confidence is? And how do we let them know? Because two women are wrapped up in this thing about man, get married, not that marriage is bad, but how do we, before it gets too late, how do we show those women that, or tell them that confidence is really key to almost every facet of your life. How can you give a word out for those young women so they can start off on the right footing?
Okay, so what I would say is that I wish the things I know about confidence now, and with my experiences, it's always easy, hindsight is 2020, but the things I know now, I wish I had known much earlier. You will find your life a lot more fulfilling if you already have your confidence at that stage, right? Because that's such a tender and beautiful stage. I mean, all of life is. You're just blossoming into womanhood. You probably have not gotten married yet, and you're just stepping out. At that point in time, a lot of young ladies allow themselves to, that image that they want to project maybe to the man or to someone that they want to like them. They want society to like them, to admire them. Be true to you. The best thing I can say to you is be true to yourself,
yes,
not for anyone else. Shakespeare said it. He says, if you are true to yourself, you cannot be false to anyone else.
Wow.
Be true to yourself. The people that are not for you will fall away. Dr. Iyabo mentioned there are 8 billion people on this planet. There will be lots of people that are for you. There'll be lots of people that are not for you, and that's okay. Not everyone has to be for you, but be true to you. I think that all that I was about to say can be wrapped up in that statement. You've got to be true to yourself. It will take you places.
Yes. Can you say that Shakespeare statement again, please? I have to write it in my journal later.
Okay. Let me say it in Shakespearean. He says, to thine own self be true.
Okay.
And it will then follow, and it must then follow as the day follows the night.
And it must then follow as the days follow the night.
Thou canst not then be false to any man.
This one, you have to DM this one to me, please. Can you on your next post on your page? On your next post, just put it there on your page. Everybody, please follow Lois. Her brand name is Lean on Lois. Isn't that a perfect brand name? Isn't she somebody you can lean on? I know there's many of my older 50-year-old friends on here, so make sure that your kids follow Lean on Lois. Make sure that if they need a confidence coach, they should sign up for her coaching. So now, Lois, please tell us all about your coaching, when it is launching, what your mission and hope is from this coaching that you're launching. Please let people know.
Okay, so before I say that, let me also, go back a little bit to something you said earlier. When you talked about women feeling like they don't have money. It's one of the ways in which we feel like we're not enough a lot. Mm-hmm. And there's someone I admire very much in Lagos. He's a taxi driver. He's the taxi driver that I use in Lagos, you see. I've built a relationship with him over more than 10 years now, before I got married. And he amazes me. He's a taxi driver. He's not anywhere at the top of the economy, okay? He's built a house in the heart of Lagos. Now, if you know Lagos, it's like everywhere is expensive. The places that are maybe affordable, and that's when you pay over time, are on the outskirts. And he just had this, plot of land, and he got this plot of land, slowly paid, he's built his own house. He said he built a small, modest house. He now has started working on building small structures behind that he can rent out so that he can have income. He's doing a little bit of farm animal husbandry. Why am I saying this? It's because it's not about how much you have at any point in time.
Yeah.
You've got to learn how to prioritize. You've got to learn, again, systems and structure. So for him, and if you talk to him, in fact, I was so amazed when he told me. I told a friend who works in a TV station, and they featured him to try and get the message out that no matter your status in life, you can achieve, you can get what you want to get. Yes. I mean, lots of people in organizations, lots of educated people don't have their own houses. This guy has his own house. He's going to be collecting rent from people. And all because he worked on, okay, let me build this one for myself and my family. you know, and if you ask him, he's doing it because of fees, you know, he has a plan and all that. So that it just reminded me. So if you feel like you don't have money, it's not about having money, you know, it's not about having money. So yeah, so I wanted to mention that because
You're
I
such
always
a
learn
good
from that guy.
storyteller. You're such a good storyteller, Lois, honestly. So just remember in your confidence coaching that you coach women on how to be good storytellers, because you're so
Sure.
gifted at speaking and you're so gifted at storytelling. Honestly, it's a gift to
Thank
have,
you.
because everything you say, you have a story to back it up, and it's just so wonderful to listen to you. So yeah, tell us about your
Thank
coaching
you.
now, because people, I'm
All
sure, on
right.
this live and on the replay will want to know about your confidence coaching.
All right. So the coaching launches on the 1st of February. Yay. And I'm launching with one-on-one coaching, confidence coaching. And what that package will entail is a 6-week, it's like a 6-week package. We'll have 6 sessions over the 6-week period. And I really want it to be the 6 weeks so that we're going back to back. We'll have 6 sessions, and we will always then have reflection. So you have your weekly reflections. You also have your daily assignments as we work through it together. And I'm really looking forward to that opportunity. So the link will be up by the 1st of February so that you can sign up for the confidence coaching, and I'm really looking forward to it. When you talk about my mission is to help women to change a few things. One, you develop confidence, and you use that confidence to help you speak up and help you get success in your career and in your personal lives. But ultimately too, you use it to change your perception of yourself and change your life so you can actually succeed. That's the mission I'm on, to help women change the perception of themselves and develop confidence for success. So I'm looking forward to that.
Wow. Honestly, if I had a champagne now, I'll just pop it. Honestly, no, Lois, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you because from our first call, I wish I took a screenshot of you on our first call, how you just looked like, I could just tell there was something missing that you really wanted. I don't want to say you didn't look happy. You looked curious is the word. You looked really curious, and most of my clients on our first call, they look curious and they're just like, can you just help me with something? But by our second call, by the time you started putting out your videos, I could see the light in you, and I know you're going to change so many lives. I know that. And honestly, Lois's coaching is affordable, and you guys just need to sign up. Go now and DM her, join her mailing list. If you're not following her yet, follow her, because she's such a gifted speaker. And in this day and age, in this digital space that we're on now, if you're not a good speaker, it's going to be hard for you to leverage. So if you want to be a good speaker, if you want to be confident about your skills, if you want to really, really just step out and shine and start to change your own lives, we're passing on the torch, right? I've passed it on to Lois. She's passing on to others, and she wants to train other women to keep passing it on. So guys, follow Lois, check her out. She's a force to be reckoned with. So I think we're done. I think this is it. The replay is going to be on my YouTube, not on my Instagram. You guys make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube, Dr. Iyabo Webzo, and you can go back and watch this as many times as you want. So Lois, you have 30 seconds to, get us out of this, and I'm sure women will be following you to your page.
Okay, I just want to say thank you, guys. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it, and I'm happy that you were here. You guys, thanks, Dr. Joakia. You guys participated, your comments, everything. Honestly, thank you. You guys inspire us, and I know that we're all working together to, like Dr. Iyabo said, pass on the torch and bring women up. We're going to change the world.
Yes.
Someone said to me once, you're the light of the world, not the light of your house. So we're going to change the world.
Yes.
All right?
Amen.
Thank you, guys.
Amen. And amen to all the prayers. Thank you. My friend Ronke gave you a nice prayer here. Thank you, guys. I love you all. I love you all. God bless you. Follow Lois. Subscribe to my YouTube. And I will see you next Sunday with another of my coaching clients. Simone will be coming on next Sunday to tell us all about her curvy girl coaching. Bye, Lois. Thanks for your time. Bye.
Bye, Dr. Iyabo. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you all. Bye-bye.